Hi, so today I'm going to be talking about getting your priorities straight. And there's loads of stuff to cover with this, but I just want to talk about the people first of all. So there are two very important people at the wedding, and it's obviously you and your partner. But that is very important to remember because I think a lot of people, when they're planning, they sort of think, oh, I want this and I want this and I want this. And they sometimes forget about the other person. And, the other person's really important because that's what the whole day is about. It's like you and your partner. Now, there may be some things that you've had in your head before you even met your other half about how you wanted your wedding to be, but some of those things might not be compatible with what your other half wants. So if that's the case, you've got to just scrap it. There's no point dragging your fiance, kicking and screaming, into doing what you want to do because they won't enjoy the day. And you've both got to enjoy the day. And that will mean some compromises, but also it's nice to plan with somebody. It's not just, oh, I've had this plan in my head ever since I was 12 and therefore we need to have a candy floss machine and a photo booth and we've got to have our first dance to this song. It's like, that person might not have even ever heard of that song. Why are they doing their first dance to it? So I think it's really important that you sort of start afresh and talk to each other about what you like. And, it's fine to be like, oh, I've always had this thought that I'd really like to have this at my wedding. What do you think? And they might go, oh yeah, that's a nice idea. Let's give it a go. But also be open to the other person's ideas. They might have something in their head from when they were 12 that they want to do at the wedding. And it's a bit of give and take. If they want, everyone to sign their electric guitar, I'm thinking about my best friend and her husband here, then great, use that as your guest book. It might mean that, you can then have whatever it is that you've always wanted. And it's actually really fun to make those decisions with your other half. If you're driving along one day and a song comes on the radio and you're both like loving it and singing along, think about including that somewhere. Or, if there's something that you've done together in the past, and you're thinking, like, how can we get that, into it so it represents both of our personalities, try and find a way. Like, I have a friend who, her and her husband met while they were traveling and they've been traveling loads together, and so all of the table names were names of different places that they'd been together, and that's great because it's like that represents them as a couple. Now, there might be stuff that your other half just isn't fussed about. They might be like, oh yeah, just do what you want. So great, do what you want for those things. Like, Tom wasn't really fussed about what the bridesmaids were all wearing. So, he'd say, oh yeah, that looks lovely if I had some of them round to try things on. But he wasn't really fussed. The same way as I wasn't fussed at all about the cake. It gets eaten so quickly. And so I was like, well, whatever Tom wants with the cake, Tom can have. And he can make that decision. And, there'll be a nice cake there on the day. Great.